Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're going to talk about the 5 filters. Now, it's 5 filters in this realm of reality. You know what I'm saying? In this illusion we in. And it's 5, well, there's thousands of filters, but they're all layered under a specific 5 layers. Now, before we even get into the layers, I want to talk about something real quick. Now, I want to talk about as far as the situations where, okay, you have an Elohim, right? Now, Elohim is always going to be superior over a realm of reality because they're the ones with the hidden knowledge or the experience of magic to enable a realm of reality, right? Now, you got this power also. It's just you forgot and you wanted to experience within an experience. So that's all what's going on right now by you experiencing being a human or having the human experience. But these beings are having a godly experience. They're having an Elohim experience. They're having whatever being they are. They're having that kind of experience. So what comes with that realm of reality, same way you create in this realm of reality is the same way how they create realm of realities. Now, what happens here is once a realm of reality is created, concepts and experiences and energies, aka frequencies, vibrations, and energies, things that matter, comes and derive from that. So once you get a group of Elohim to create one light, aka one illusion within a yin realm, then you're going to get many different perceptions, which is aka many different frequencies, many different spirits, many different lights, many different sounds, many different frequencies, many different perceptions. And then those are going to get experienced, which turns into many different souls. This is how you end up finding your soul group or your spirit or your spiritual path. When you find your soul group will lead you on your spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? That's why people don't know where they're spiritually supposed to be on a path on until they find a group or a social group or a grouping of others that can combine and make the aura big enough to have a sense of direction. This is why one of the reasons why religion, which is one of the filters, is most popular. But we're going to get into this. Now, you want to talk about as far as when we talk about the Elohim, and then they brought the realms of illusions in here and frequencies and the vibrations. Now you have a bunch of spirits that's able to travel here from other Elohim creations, which is other solar systems and things of that, within other solar systems and other beings and things of that nature. Then you have certain spiritual ideas and concepts and beings that derive from this Elohim. So they're this offsprings of this Elohim. This is when you get a person who's highly religious and you can't tell them nothing else. This is when you get a person who's highly business efficient and you can't tell them nothing else. A person who's highly on something and you can't tell them something else, but the thing that they're on is within the realm of reality, then they're geared towards a Pacific Elohim God. You know what I'm saying? It may be a Pacific offspring. And we still gonna get into this. Now look, when we talk about the offsprings of these Elohims, these became the ancient civilizations. So you know you got like Atlantis, you got Lemuria, and things of that nature. Now, with these ancient civilizations, they was once like you, this less dense, less physical. You see what I'm saying? Martians, all these. And this is partially like Greys, and things like ancient civilizations that was here and experienced their kind of experience, right? So ultimately these was beings just like you. Just like you got for an example right now, you got a lot of humans, right? And you got a Pacific grouping of humans that geared towards government and law and police and things and business and things of that nature. Same way here, just less dense. So when we go into the ancient civilizations, they was less physical. So a lot of their remnants is still here, and a lot of them is like energy can't be destroyed. It can only be recycled. So a lot of them is jumping into physical forms also. So you can be one. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and by you realizing you're one, that's not to say you're a bad or a good. That's a bad or a good thing. You may be a Nephilim, or you may be. You know what I'm saying? You may be part of these beings, or you may be from another solar system. You see what I'm saying? But look, when we talk about, like, the same way how you got a bunch of humans, but then you got a group of beings, a group of humans that's dealing with law and stuff like that, that's the same way with these beings. So instead of calling it the government, it's the Galactic Federation of Light. So in these groupings of beings with the ancient civilizations, these groupings of beings, the ones that was constructed with law and things of that nature, and the ones that liked it to go on a direct path of a Pacific Elohim God, and how they work together and create order out of chaos, they became the Galactic Federation of Light. Now, the 5 filters is religion, education, entertainment, business, and politics in this realm of reality. And they are ran by the Galactic Federation of Light. So they're ran by the ancient civilizations that's either reincarnated in you or your children or your family or something like that, or there's still remnants of them because their concepts and their spirit and their energy orbs is still here manifesting in a big way. So you get to see some of the remnants of it physically, and they get played out through physical people and the physical bloodline of these people, of these beings. But at the same time, like I said, things have to take place internally before externally, and this is happening in the internal realm. So this is basically the yin realm Illuminati. This is the yin realm, the internal realm, justice and structure. That's basically what the Galactic Federation of Light is. So when you look out in the external realm and you come up with ideas of the Illuminati, and you come up with ideas of government and law and being judged and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10 you're deriving that from the internal world, which is, you can phrase it, the Galactic Federation of Light. The internal, the yin Illuminati. And what they do is they keep order out of chaos by using the light and sound frequency and vibrations to create illusions, spells, and rituals, which ain't nothing but concepts, language, and magic. Illusions is concepts, spells is language, words, and rituals is magic. The shit you can do with the elements and the words and shit like that, right? But when they come up with their concept with it, right? Now this is their way of putting lesser beings into categories and to keep track of everything. AKA, this is why in the physical form it plays out as you having a social security card. You know what I'm saying? You always being able to track. They know what level of life you're living. Like if you well, not level of life, but you know, if you're a rich person or you live in the middle or you live poor, you see what I'm saying? Like they know what area, what geographical location. They know how to pinpoint and put you in categories. This is the way how they create order out of chaos, because everything would be in the chaos. You see what I'm saying? So they creating order out of chaos. And in the middle of that, sometimes they have to take things and do things that a lot of other beings may not like. But ultimately, this is the Galactic Federation of Light, the AKA Yin Realm internal motherfucking Illuminati. Now, the 5 filters, which they use to utilize what you can't see or what you would appear not to be there because you in the physical form. Okay, they got religion, education, entertainment, business, politics. Now the Galactic Federation of Light use illusions, spells, and rituals, aka concept, language, and magic. And then a lot of the ancient civilizations came up with language. They came up with language and spells to order to remind themselves if they reincarnate and come back in a physical form that may not understand the density of the life that they was in. This was the reason why they created a lot of these spells and stuff, to remind them. So if they created, for an example, say you was part of an ancient civilization, right? And you wanted to remember how to use your magic or use a chakra or something like that. So let's say the letter 3, it represents wholeness, right? So the way wholeness look in their realm of reality, maybe in a situation where you're combining 2 things and it create one thing. So it creates an illusion of three things happening simultaneously, when really it's just two things coming together to create one new thing, and then that new thing creates three realms of realities, basically, but in one. You see what I'm saying? So say, to remind them about that, right, they created a sigil around it. So they created, like, say, the number 3, right? So when they come back in another realm of reality, in another generation, right, they're going to understand that letter in the way that that realm of reality and those Elohim gods put in those experiences, wherever this being is traveling, or whatever time experience is under, based upon how much this been experienced. You see, and how much it been brought into density and physicality, right? So when they come back in a future generation, and then that 3, it unlocks what they wanted to be reminded about, right? So the way they play that energy out may be in a whole new way. It may be in a way going along with that generational time, but it's still playing through the same energy. You see what I'm saying? Just like, all right, for an example, you want to take musicians, right? Now you have old musicians who talk about, they was talking about snorting cocaine and things of that nature, and it was part of the norm in the 70s and 80s, right? And then once it got to the 90s, people was like, what the fuck? We don't do that shit no more. It was something else, right? Then when you get to the 2000s, it's pills and lean, and that's basically still heroin and crack. But you would get the generation now saying that was crack. Now, 10 or 20 years from now, it's going to be something else that they're on, and they're going to be looking at pills and codeine and shit like that was crack. So it's not the actual drug itself, like crack, or then it was heroin, and then there's like pills and promethazine and codeine. Now it's not the specific drug. It's just a specific spirit, a being and energy. The same motherfucker. It's the same motherfucker that's just reinventing itself in every generation. So since you're a physical being and you're less dense, you're only able to see it as a representation. Just like you're not going to find God in the external realm. You're only going to find things that may represent God. And the closer, and the things that you feel like represent the closest God to you, those are going to be the things that remind you of the direction where you need to go in the yin realm. Then once you decipher that in the yin realm, then you'll be able to get closer to God, to find God in the spirit realm. You see what I'm saying? But it's the same, like, just the getting back to the drug analogy and things of that nature. It's like, it's the same energy, can't be destroyed, it can only be reciprocated. So depending on what time and what's the experience that's going on right now, that's the way it's going to come out. But it's going to be the same shit. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be the same shit. So it's like the 3 is going to unlock something. So even when you talk about the drugs or trends or things of that nature, all it did, it's just the same motherfucker. It's like, since you're into density and you're physical, you don't see it as this being a being. You see it as it being played through something. The same way, like, you're not going to find God in the external realm. You only can see representations. So as this spirit being, the higher you is, the more you can see. That's just like if you're in an airplane, the more land you could cover, the more land you could see. The more land you could cover, the more distance you could travel. So it's like that in the spirit realm. So the higher the being, the more it can cover. So what that means is it covers more realms of realities. Now, if you want to talk about it from a person who's vibrating very high, a person who's vibrating and who have high spirits, like a person who's always optimistic and have high spirits, they become inspirational, right? But inspiration is just another word, another example of what I'm already talking about. This person's spirit is high, so they're able to cover more grounds. So they're able to pick up more antenna receivers, which will be you, or a person or a thing. So they're able to cover more grounds. So they're able to be understood through way more stuff, way more people, way more different things. You see what I'm saying? And a person can play this out physically. This is how you get people who own certain things. They got their name on their store, name on their products, name on their... And then so this person is represented through their products, through the person they is, through their store. So look at this as higher, less dense beings. as less physical dense beings, the more stuff you can cover. You can cover certain people, places, and things in a physical being's life. You see what I'm saying? So this being who comes through the drug, and it's a lot of different beings. I'm talking about the harsh ones, the harsh drugs, right? This spiritual being that keep coming back and keep playing on a harsh drug, it's just one fucking being, and he just keep recreating himself through the different harsh drugs. So if it's going to be another harsh drug the next 10 years, and this one looks stupid, it's the same nigga. He's just coming back into the new gen. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking being, though. You need to understand that. And once you learn to understand that, learn your human power, you'll be able to stop certain shit that you don't even think about, that really affects your spirit. You see what I'm saying? And at the same time, what these 5 filters do is they help segregate people, so they can know what you're into, and they can know that you're going accordingly, and you're not going into chaos. You're going by order. You know what I'm saying? It's all about keeping construct in order. With the Galactic Federation of Light, same way with the government. It's the same way. Like, before you go to jail in the external realm, you have to be in jail in the internal realm. If you a nigga that's in jail right now, like somebody can call you and visit you in the external realm in jail right now, I highly doubt you wasn't in jail in the internal realm. Listen, I guarantee your mind was on something that you was putting yourself in a mental jail, or you put your soul in a jail first. And you had to been experiencing it over and over again, whether it was a harsh crime or whatever crime it was. And your ass got caught and got put into jail in the yin realm, in the internal realm. And then eventually it mattered, because it's mattering to you, because you're experiencing it in your life, in your internal world. Then the frequency is going to vibrate to the megahertz, to the point that you experience it in matter, in solid, in this reality. So either you was doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, and then you got caught internally first, and then your ass didn't serve the time well in there. You was acting chaotic and got more time in there, so more experience, and then it played out in external life. And here's an example of that. You may be a person who likes to steal, right? And then but you stealing things that ain't worth getting caught, like you steal candy bars and stuff like that, right? So now, in your head, right, in your mental head, right, you put yourself in a jail because you thinking this wrong off the bat. So you coming up with a bunch of ideas, which is still a candy bar from the store ain't wrong, but if you thinking it's wrong, you're in a realm of reality now that's controlled by another Elohim God. So they see you, and they see what you're doing in the yin realm. See, it's the yin realm before the external realm. So as soon as you feel like you're doing something wrong, those meanings and reasonings that you feel like you're doing something wrong, those the spirits of the portal of the realm of reality that you in. So those the beings, same way, aka humans. Like if you got caught stealing in this realm of reality, that's just like there. As soon as you got the idea of why you felt like it's wrong, whoever gave you that idea of whether it was wrong or right, that's a realm of reality portal ruled by Elohim Pacific God. Now those beings that's gonna come check you. It's like they caught you, just like you got caught stealing here, right? Now it's either you gonna run or you're not, right? So now you already feel like you're doing this wrong. Now so say you get caught, right? Now you're in this realm of reality where you know it's wrong, but you keep doing it. You start to build up meanings and reasonings behind it. Inside good reasons why you should do this thing or whatever like that. But you're still in a realm of reality where you feel guilty and you know this wrong, but you're coming up with easy acceptances in your head to why this is why you should be doing this, right? Right? Then that's you acting up in jail. You already locked up. You already got caught by whatever realm of reality. That's why it's important not to just be in no realm of reality. If you genuinely feel like it's not wrong to steal a candy bar, I bet you won't even get caught at no store. You see what I'm saying? But it has to really be in your heart. And so much shit is wired into you based upon the Elohim, this body you constructed in, and so much shit is hardwired in you. It's hard to just escape this realm of reality because you in this realm of reality, ran by the rulers. You see what I'm saying? But you're human, so you're able to have that spirit to kick out of that shit, and that's where you become more powerful than people like me or other spiritual beings and things of that nature, because you're able to utilize your human power. But back to the subject, it's like in the yin realm, or you keep doing the same thing and keep coming up with inner things or why you're doing the wrong thing. You could be cheating on your girlfriend and you come up with the reason why it's wrong. Soon as the ideas that you come up with of why it's wrong came from a realm of reality or portal, and those beings in that realm of reality or portals must have been where you lived at. And a lot of times these are places your spirit and your soul shouldn't be living at, in that the yin direction. But those locations, but that's another video. But for right now, boom, your ass get caught, go to jail, keep doing the same thing. You end up getting more time, right? Now whatever you did is gonna play out in this realm. And it might not ever be in the same type of situation. It might be something else that happened, but you end up going to jail, right? And then you ended up experiencing that in this reality because you put yourself in a mental jail already and put your soul in jail, right? And wasn't trying to get up out of that by having emotional stance and feelings in the right way of things in the yin realm. Without going to those locations, you'll be lost even in the yang realm. You know what I'm saying? You have to be going in the yin realm first to leave anywhere in the yang realm. You know what I'm saying? Or you're just going to be a fucking zombie or a robot. You see what I'm saying? So, at the same time, that's what I mean. So, at the 5 filters, you got religion, education, entertainment, business, and politics. So, once you get into any of these is what run this realm of reality. So, any unknown thing that you can't see, these are the filters it's going through in this realm of reality. You see what I'm saying? And these filters are ruled by the Galactic Federation of Light. And the Galactic Federation of Light is ruled by the Elohim, gods of this solar system. And this solar system, this actual solar system with our 10 planets and the rest of the planets here and things of that nature is one being. And this being itself is in a civilization. But that's another video. But it comes from this being, our Pacific solar system, in this Milky Way galaxy, this Pacific being, and within this being, he has an Elohim, which is an Elohim, is a group of demigods. They're not the god, they're the demigods within this being, overall being. Right? So now this is where you get soul groups and spiritual paths and things of that nature and civilizations. Now, under them, you get civilizations, which is us now. Now, we're ran by them, and them is ran by the one being, and this being is going under a whole nother civilization. You see what I'm saying? So, that's another video, but it ain't as broad as you think it is, right? But it's not as simple either. But at the same time, I know where people can get confused, and it doesn't have to be confusing. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, that's this motherfucking video. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn, Galactic Federation of Light. Goddamn, the Yin Illuminati. Yes.